Now, let's create a new model. In this model, we will enter all data using coordinates. For this, I click the plus button and create my second model. I double-click on it and switch to the model. In this model, I will use coordinate input for all data. For this, we will use the X and Y coordinate input boxes. First, I go to the related button to create areas and click the button labeled X, Y. I enter the first coordinate. For example, X is 30 and Y is 0. After entering the coordinates, I click the plus button. The first point has been added. For the second point, I enter X is 30 and Y is 14, then click the plus button again. The second point is added. Now I enter the third point. X is 61 and Y is 14. The next point is 69, 20. Then 100, 20. Next, 100, 0. And I return to the starting point, 30, 0. After closing the area, I press Enter to create the first area. This is how we create a model using coordinate input. Now let's create the second layer. Again, I click the X, Y area button and enter the first point as 65, 17. Then I enter the second point as 100, 17. When I press Enter, the second area is created. Now let's assign materials. I select the Select Areas option. I assign fill to the first area. Let's also assign a color. For example, this color. Now I assign the material for the second layer. I select clay. I define the drainage condition. And assign a color. This time, I choose a different color. So, we have defined the materials for the areas. Now let's see how to define the groundwater level using coordinates. I use the related button. I click the Create Groundwater Level by Coordinates button. For example, I enter the first point as 31, 10 and click the plus button. The second point is 59, 10. The third point is 79, 14. The fourth point is 92, 14. As you can see, we can define multiple points. When I press Enter, the groundwater table is created. Now let's define a surcharge load using coordinates. I select strip load from the list. You can also select area, line, or point load. Now I click the coordinate load input button. For example, I enter the coordinate as 71, 20. I click the plus button. When I press Enter, the Load Properties window appears. I set the width B to 7 meters and the load to 60 kilonewtons per square meter. Now let's add an anchor. Let's choose a sample coordinate. For example, 6719. I click the coordinate anchor input button. I enter 6719 and click the plus button. When I press enter, the anchor properties window opens. I click add, and the anchor is added to the model. In this way, the entire model can be created using coordinates. Now let's see how to delete the groundwater level. Clicking the Delete Groundwater Level button removes it. To modify or delete anchors, select anchors from the selection list and double-click on them. For example, we can set the free length to 10 meters. To delete, select the anchor and click Delete Anchor. To modify loads, select Loads from the list. Then double-click the load to edit its properties. For example, we can set the width to 9 meters. To delete, first select the load. Then click the Delete Load button.